One thing I did build that I haven't mentioned is a little template here where you gotta cut all these at a certain amount. So I just take my saw, and I basically need a miter box for it. And then you can just cut those out. Makes it quick, makes it simple. What I might do, well, I'm gonna do it now maybe for the next one, is make one long enough so that if you know how long they are, you can just put them in the miter box, boom, cut them. That would make things a lot faster than measuring out everything and doing all that, but there we go. We're back at the shop. I'm going to do a false rib today. It only goes back to where the spar is, and the spar is right here, so just behind the spar. I need to cut some lattice work here, so I just take it and mark about where it's going to go. I can take that over and cut it with the bandsaw. I've got, I need some of these long ones, I need some of these, the 5X's, I need a couple of those cut. And I think I've got just about everything else, and I'll show you what we do here. So I've just marked it. I'm going to go over and cut it. Alright, we got all the lattice work cut up, at least enough to do 3 spars. Now I'm going to take some of the cap, put it into place, and mark it to be cut. Again, like I said, all we have to do is go past the main spar, which will be right here. So I'm just going to go 1/2 inch past. I'll make that cut, and then we'll put the top one in and make that cut as well. There's the first one cut for the bottom, and that fits good. Now, the next one we'll put in, and I've got these so that we can put it in. I'll put it in this way, and it'll bend just nicely in there. And then I tighten up my cams. So that pushes it to exactly where we want it. We need it down just a bit. Now I take my saw and I'm just going to snip off the end here so it's nice and straight. So when we add the front cap, it'll be a nice smooth transition, so I can cut that. I've got my jig over here, and I'll just cut this one right about there. Okay, I can take it over to the jig, put it in place. So I'll just take my saw, get it into the groove. I'm doing this left-handed and backwards. You'll see how it'll be cut right along there. Voila! So that's cut at the angle that I will need it at to go on the front here. This way. Cams up. And so straight down, you can see right along this line. We'll put in that filler cap now. So I take what's left from my little cutting, and I can put it, that's backwards, put it that way. Again, this is going to be an angle cut, and I've got that on my jig. So it's going to be this way, and straight across the bottom, and there, just like that. So that'll go in right there. Perfect. Okay. Now let's dry fit some of this stuff. Number 5. Working. There you go. This one was a little short, doesn't fit right up to the back there, but that is perfectly fine. Okay, so that's how it fits. Now, to make up some epoxy, and glue those into place. I need a nice round corner on here. I'll sand a nice round corner on there just because. It makes it look good. Alright, let's get these into place and we'll start gluing up. Nice round corner on that too. So, this is number 6, it goes in there. Now this has got the T-member on it, so before I put it in, I go all the way down this one side and get a good layer of epoxy. And that is going to form our T-truss, or whatever you want to call it. That gives that compression support to that one stick. And it'll go against here. This one is just in there to support it so it doesn't bend out. Just like that. Those in there good and snug. Again, sometimes the cuts are a little short or a little long, so I don't have them exactly on the line sometime, but that's all right. As long as they're all in there nice and snug, we're gonna be fine. That one's done. Go take that, lay it up, and bring another one in, and have at it. Number 2. Now, this is, one of the things, if you look at this one, I cut all the wood the same, and with this one, it's right on all the lines. So it's literally, that one's off a little bit there just to make it tighter. But it's literally, let's move there. All the ones are on the line here. I cut the wood exactly the same as far as my eyeball could see. But if it's just a 64th here and a 64th there, there's just going to be that little bit of a difference that's going to make it look like that, just off the line a little bit. And unless it's made with a CNC machine, I guess, mass produced at the same time, you're just going to have those little tiny things happening. Went and took a look at a cub being built yesterday, and what actually surprised me is I think these wing ribs look more sturdy than the ribs that were built for that cub. So after seeing that, I think that these are going to be plenty strong enough for the Dakota Hawk. I wasn't concerned before, but it just surprised me that the cub's wings, just the ribs didn't look as sturdy as these do. The spars on the cub looked to be 1 by, I don't know if it was 6 inches. It looked more like 5 inches, but just a piece of 1 by fur. Whereas this is a channel. It's whatever you want to call it, a H-beam, I guess you could call it. Is definitely sturdier in that respect. So, yeah, it was just interesting. All right, here's the third one. Done for that for the day. And this one again, they turned out pretty good. Online. Got my clamps all in there. Glue stick. I'll mark that as the glue that was used to glue up the false ribs on whatever day. What day is it today? I don't even have a clue. It's Sunday. All right. So I've got my table set up here. I've got the plans. Got the camera. Got the coating on the plans, plastic coating you get from Michael's or some craft store. Your glue doesn't stick to it. So I laid up the spars right on the plans as you saw in previous videos. So they're laying there. I've got my templates for the wing ribs there. So that takes up the table. I was wondering where, because reading one set of plans at a time is kind of a pain in the butt. I'd like to hang some up. I thought maybe on that wall. Drilling into cement is a pain in the butt. And I realized there's a great big frickin' door and it's already got things on it, so I'm using that to hang up my clamps and screwed a couple clamps into the stringers on the overhead door, and then I can hang up the next set of plans. That's the set of plans for the completed wing, so I can try and figure out, okay, there's a compression strut that goes here. How does that actually look, and what's that block doing there? DHW33. So I can come over to here and I can see, there's that DHW33 right there. And where's the compression strut on there? There's a compression strut right there. DHW33 probably, and that's a compression strut. So I can see how, and that corresponds to this one right here. Compression strut, DHW33. So DHW33 must be a block that goes this way, and the compression strut goes from the front spar to the back spar. Anyways, that makes it a little bit easier to comprehend when I'm trying to figure out what the hell does that mean. I can go and look it on there, and I can start comparing back and forth. Getting on my clamps out there gets everything off the table, so I just have a little bit more room to work and sort things out. So yeah, did a little bit of house cleaning today.